All right. Last video, I know this is already an extremely long lesson, and I hate that the first lesson is so long, but kind of bear with me here. We're going to end this lesson the way we end most of our lessons in this class with our application problems. So, example 10 says the following table gives the initial monthly premiums for males and females aged 50 through 54 as a function of the amount of insurance. So, you can see we have insurance amounts of 20, 25, 50, 75, and 100,000. Here's how much males have to pay for those insurance amounts and how much females have to pay for those insurance amounts. So if the function m of x is a male's premium for the insurance amount, so we'll go ahead and put it, this one here is our m of x. For insurance amount x in dollars, we want to find m of 25,000. Okay, so these are my x values. If I want m of 25,000, I'm going to go to my x of 25,000. And what is that m of x value? It's $14.15. So m of 25,000 equals, in general, word problems need word answers or at least units. So we're talking about money here. It cost $14.15. If the function f of x is female's premium, so here is my f of x. For a female's premium for insurance amount x in dollars, find f of 50,000. So f of 50,000 equals what? So here is 50,000. Because I want the females, I will go over here. And this one equals $12.83. Now this one's asking backwards here. For what value of x is m of x equal to 28.29? So we can see m of x. I'm going to my m of x column. Here is where my 28.29 is. What is that x value? 50,000 equals 50,000. Okay, write a sentence explaining f of 100,000 equals 2562. Okay, I want you to pause this video and I want you to think about, we're going to be doing a lot of explaining in this class. So pause the video and see if you can explain what this would mean. Okay, I hope you had time to pause the video and or at least think about the answer here. Write a sentence explaining what f of 100,000 equals 25.67, and that would be a female between the ages of 50 and 54 will need to pay $25.67 per month for $100,000 of insurance. All right, number 11 here, last example. The profit from the production and sale of iPod players is given by the function p of x, where x is the number of units produced and sold. So x is the number of units produced and sold, and the profit is our p of x. So part A, what is the profit from the production and sale of 400,000 units? Write this in function notation. So half of this class is whatever number they are giving. Does this represent my x or does this represent my y? If I have 400 or 4,000 units, it tells me right here, x is the number of units produced and sold. So this is talking about my X. And sorry again. This is supposed to be 3,000, isn't it? Okay. So 3,000 is my X. So all I'm going to do, and specifically because they want function notation, this will now become P of 3,000. So I have P of 3,000 equals, which means everywhere I see an X, I am replacing it with 3,000. And there are two of them. So I'm replacing this X with 3,000 and this one here. So we have 450 times 3,000 minus 0.1 times 3,000 squared minus 20,000. So this one, definitely calculator. Put that in our calculator here. And that looks right to me. So I have a different answer as my key, but I think I plugged that in right. So if I plug that in right, we get 448,000 for my profit. Now write this in function notation means I don't want just that money there. I want all that. Now, what is P of 500? So it was usually P of X. So this means my X is 500. So I have P of 500 equals, and now I'm going to replace those two X's with my 500. So 450 times 500 minus 0.1 times 500 squared minus 2,000. Now, if you typed this one in with me, now all we have to do is arrow up, highlight that equation, hit enter, and now I can edit it. I don't need to retype all of that in. I'll change that 3 to a 5, and then I will delete one of those zeros. Go over here, replace that 3 with a 5, and delete one of those zeros. And we get 198,000. Okay, so interpret these results. That is the same as saying write a sentence explaining. So I'll go ahead, pause the video again and see if you can, if you don't want to write it down, that's fine, but think about what does P of 500 equals 198,000 represent in the contents or the context of this problem. Pause the video if you want a little bit more time. But we have P of 500, which we said 500 was my X, and X represents the number of units produced and sold. And then my P of X, whatever this equals, is my profit. So the profit from the sale of 500 iPods is $198,000. Make sure you have that dollar sign. Word problems need word answers, or at the very least, units. So 500 iPods is the keyword I would be looking for, and $198,000 is what I'd be looking for.